Hi everyone, Edna Kimble, Edna sells Century 21 Wright Real Estate, and welcome to today's podcast, How to Real Estate. We have a special guest with us today. This is Randi Hardbarger. She is a member of the sales team, and she is a buyer's agent, listing agent, and we're going to visit with her about being a newly licensed realtor under a year. Okay? Welcome, Randi.
Thank you.
Thank you. So tell us all about yourself. Where are you from? What's your hobbies?
Originally, I'm from Stillwell. I recently moved to Tahlequah. I went to NSU for a little while. I've kind of just lived all over since high school. So,
You've had a very interesting career path. Tell us some of the previous jobs that you've done.
okay. Chick-fil-A. Shout them out. They're my favorite.
She loves Chick-fil-A. Yeah.
I worked there for a while whenever I was a senior in high school.
Okay.
I had graduated online early, so as a senior, I was working there. And then after that, I went to work on the wind turbines as a gate guard slash admin.
And where was that at?
One of the jobs was in Texas, West Texas, and then the other one was in New York.
So wind turbine gate guard in Texas and in New York. And what were the age? Like you were 19,
Yeah, I was not
20. Yeah, so that's a pretty big I don't know, that's a big commitment to put you. Did you carry a gun?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm like a gate guard. Okay. Was it overnight during the day?
It
Or?
was during the day and in the middle of nowhere, so I really wasn't that worried.
Okay, so yeah.
Middle of nowhere.
Middle of nowhere. Okay, that's a very interesting career path. Okay, perfect. And so why get into real estate? What led you to real estate?
Um, I have just always wanted to be my own boss for one, and kind of create my own schedule. That's always been like I've always had an entrepreneur spirit, I feel like, rather than working an average 9 to 5 everyday desk job. So that's kind of what led me here.
Okay, perfect. And how much did you know about real estate? Do you have anybody, friend, family, relative that you had aspired to be like, or?
I didn't know much. I know my Aunt Sarah had went through real estate school right before I started, and my mom had also went through real estate school. So they were trying to pass their tests and everything whenever I started school.
I didn't know that. Okay, perfect. And are they realtors now?
Sarah is.
Okay,
Yeah.
so one in the family.
Yeah.
Yes, in a different market or in this market?
Muskogee, Tulsa area.
Okay. So you can give a little shout out referral for that for the Tulsa market if you need it.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, as far as once you decided you wanted to be a realtor, how quick and easy was that process?
Well, after you sign up for the class, you get 6 months to complete it. You can finish it however quickly you can, because it's a go at your own pace if you do it online.
So this was an online course.
Yes,
Yeah.
online. And then after that, you have to take like a 200 quiz, like a final quiz at the end of the course, and pass it. And then after that, you have to sign up for the real estate exam. And in order to do that, you have to get your fingerprints done and just a lot of hoops to jump through.
A lot of hoops. It really is. I think people think that getting into real estate is super, super easy. Um, but you have to be willing to push through some of those hoops.
Definitely.
Yeah. We have a lot of people take the class and never actually finish,
Right.
or never go and take the test after they finish the class. So that's kind of weird. How did you feel about your online course? Is it a course that it don't say the name unless you would recommend it? Is it a course that you would recommend?
Yeah, simply because I'm better at online school anyway. That's kind of what I did in high school, all through college. So I don't know if there's better ones out there or not, but I learned a lot.
Okay, and how did you find the one that was online?
I just looked up Oklahoma real estate schools.
Okay. And were there any any ratings, or you just chose the first one that popped up?
Just chose the
The
first,
first one that popped up. Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. Well, back in my day, I did real estate class in person, and it was 2 weekends.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, it was really, really horrible, and I had trouble passing the exam.
Yeah, that exam is a tough cookie.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Okay. And so then once you completed the school, and did you realize when you started class that you would have to sign up under a broker before you could actually become licensed, or?
No, I kind of didn't really understand how it all worked at first. That's why I called you
Okay.
while I was in school, so I could get an idea of where to go from there.
Okay, perfect, perfect. And that's, I think, one of the things that most realtors or people aspiring realtors do not understand. You actually cannot become licensed until you sign on with a broker. Your license goes underneath that broker. So if you are an aspiring realtor, you need to go ahead and figure out who you're going to be working with. And I do say with rather than for, right? So we're all independent contractors, but our license is under the brokerage. So, okay, so did you pass the test the first time?
Definitely not.
Okay, okay, that's okay, that's okay. So I actually will confess that it took me 3 times to pass the test, and the power went off in the middle of the test, and that's probably the only reason I passed it that time, as I was able to write down all the questions, and when the power came back on, I went back in and changed a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a very unique test because there's literally like 100,000 questions that it could be, and you never know what exactly they're going to ask you.
Right.
Yeah. So once you finished the test and you were licensed, did you then automatically know how to show homes, use lock boxes, write contracts?
No, I didn't exactly know how to do it by myself. Since I had the advantage of being on a team and being an intern before I was an actual realtor, a couple of the team members took me on like their showings and stuff and told the clients that I was their intern, and so I got to see a little bit of it up close in action beforehand. So it made it more of a smooth transition than it would have been.
Okay. And were you surprised at what you learned in the class didn't actually teach you anything that you needed to do day to day?
I wasn't surprised at all because that's how school has been my whole life.
Okay, that's a very honest answer. No, I love it. I do think that is probably one of the biggest, surprises for a realtor. They get their license and then they show up and they actually don't know how to do anything. They don't know how to use a lockbox, set up a showing,
Write an offer.
write an offer,
Yeah.
show even how to show a house or how to use the multi-list. So yeah, so that's good. So you found value in being an intern
Yes.
prior to becoming a licensed realtor.
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. So tell us a little bit about the team that you chose to be on. Who else on that? How is that structured?
Okay, so Edna, she is the team lead, and then Joy, Knight, Addison Allison, and me are all buyer's agents right now. We're also listing agents, but then we have 2 interns, Annalise and Braden, and they are doing what I was doing before I got my license. And then we have Marcus, the marketer, and Brittany, the admin. So
Yeah.
it's very helpful having people to help you out, and especially that have been in the business for a while and know exactly what they're doing.
Okay. And can you ever see yourself, because one of the things that you had wanted to do was to set your own schedule, do you think that being on a team, on the sales team, does that allow you to be more flexible with your schedule?
I think it definitely does. If I didn't have the sales team, it would be hard to find, like, say I wanted to go to a football game or something. Wouldn't happen, but something like that. I could ask one of the girls if they would go show for me. So that is very, very helpful because otherwise I would just feel guilty for saying no.
Yeah, teamwork.
Teamwork.
Right? Teamwork makes the dream work.
It really
Okay,
does.
okay. And so you've been in real estate for
5 months.
5 months now. How many transactions have you successfully completed and closed?
8 today.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's very good. I actually did know it was in that range, but I couldn't remember specifically what. And then do you have any in the pipeline or any contracts that are pending?
I have 5 right now.
5 right now. Have you broken the million mark yet?
Yes, I'm a $1 million producer.
Okay, that's fantastic. And you still have half the year left.
Mhm.
Do you feel like you're going to be able to double that, or what do you think you're going to end up with?
I think I'll be close to 3.
Okay, very
That's the
good.
goal.
Okay, what's the least expensive property that you've closed out on so far?
I think $5,000.
You did a $5,000 transaction?
Yes.
Okay, and so you made tons and tons of money.
Exactly.
Has that been a surprise to you, what realtors actually make compared to the way you see postings and everything on social media?
I mean, definitely coming from watching Selling Sunset.
If you're an aspiring realtor in Oklahoma, do not watch that show, right?
Be realistic.
Yes, be realistic. Okay, and what's the most expensive home that you've gone into contract with so far?
$575.
575,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so from 5,000 to 575,000.
Huge difference.
And is that realistic for what you see in our market?
Yes.
Absolutely it is.
Absolutely.
Absolutely it is. And I think that that's one of the big surprises for people getting into real estate. They really don't understand that you're going to have the $5,000 transaction and the $500,000 transaction, and they both take, and sometimes the small one takes actually more work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it can be very, very interesting. So, and for anyone who's an aspiring realtor, what would be some of the advice that you would give them?
Really just to keep trying, because the first month or two it is really hard, and it's easy to get discouraged because you just never know when your first client's going to come along or whenever you're going to find your first client.
But as a realtor, most people don't understand that you're not being paid just for your time
Right. Yeah.
or your gas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you could write 15 offers and show 20 homes, and how much do you get paid for doing that?
I mean, you could work 80 hours a week and get paid at nothing. So,
Absolutely. So having the skills, helping the client make decisions, helping the client be pre-approved,
yes.
these are some really important skill sets. Otherwise, you could really waste a lot of time and money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. And on the like, do you have goals set up for your first year to meet as far as how many you want to close, or?
Well, for the first year, I thought it was going to be for 2022. I had said I was going to get 45, which I'm still hoping for. I just don't know if that's exactly realistic at this point. It could be. I feel like I'll definitely hit 30 by the end of this year, but I'm shooting for 45.
Okay, I like it. And the team that she's on, they have a minimum requirement of 45, but it's a full calendar year. So Randi, what I love about Randi, if you guys are looking for a realtor and you want someone with grit and who's going to dig in there, this is your gal. She loves a good challenge. You give her a challenge and she will double down on it and raise you one. So, are you a gambler by chance?
Maybe.
I just realized that. I kind of think anybody in real estate must be a gambler, right?
Kind
Because
of.
everything is a gamble.
It
It's going to
definitely
work or
is.
it's not going to work. So, okay. So, even at this moment, having completed 8 transactions, and how many did you say you have in contract?
5.
5 in contract. Are you aware that the average realtor only does 12 transactions for the entire year?
No.
Yeah, so you are smoking them on that, and then knowing that your goal is really you're going to try to hit 30, and I do believe that you will hit the 30 for the year. That's pretty phenomenal.
Okay.
So who are some of the people in the real estate world that you follow or try to emulate, or that you listen to podcasts or whatever? Is there anyone like that an aspiring realtor should go and check out?
Definitely Tom Ferry. He's number 1. Love that guy. Yeah, he'll pretty much teach you. You can look up anything. He will pop up real estate wise, anything you need to know.
And now you recently had a little connection with Tom, right?
Yeah.
Got to meet Tom?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So, we were fortunate enough to go to the summit, the Success Summit this year, which Tom Ferry does every year. And it's basically just a lot of seasoned realtors. They go on stage and they share all their knowledge. So we were fortunate enough to go to that, and I was fortunate enough to run on stage and get a picture. Get a picture with Tom Ferry.
I challenged her, and believe me, she doubled down on that challenge and made it happen. So very, very good. And did you find that to be really? I mean, because here's the thing: a lot of conferences for any demographic or any job. Whether it's real estate or insurance or whatever, they can end up being just like one big party. But did you find true value in driving to Dallas and attending that, or was it just a fun time to get away?
No, I think it was definitely more valuable than it was just a fun time for sure. Because we were there from 8 to 5, and we had our workbooks with us, so we got to write down all the notes, and we also got copies of everything. So, like listing presentations and stuff like that. So I think it was very valuable and very helpful.
Okay, you got some
And
good ideas. Motivational, absolutely. I personally don't have to go every 90 days to something like that.
Yeah.
I just need that prod or that kick in the pants to keep me moving forward.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Okay, and then anyone on social media that you try to emulate or follow?
Well, I also love Linda Baker.
Okay, yes.
She's funny, but she's also very practical, and yeah, I'm excited to see what she comes up with.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So those of you who are thinking about getting into real estate, those are some individuals. Now, did you know them before you got into real estate, or were you following them before, or did you just find them after?
I had heard of Tom Ferry, but I didn't follow him or anything or know much about it. And then afterwards, it was game changer.
Game changer. Okay, very good. And then you also have someone, Coach Sandra.
Yes.
Tell us about Coach Sandra.
Coach Sandra, she's this spicy little ball of fire. She's constantly giving us challenges. We have meetings with her every other week. Every 2 weeks, we have a meeting with her at 7:30, and it's just super helpful, and she helps us be accountable.
Okay, so accountability through coaching. And Coach Sandra is based out of Mexico City.
Yes.
And, well, for 6 months out of the year, and I believe this year she was actually in Paris the other 6 months. So, but everything is done through Zoom calls.
Yes.
So she basically gives you a challenge and then holds you accountable for making sure that gets done.
Right.
Okay. And have you met all of her challenges?
To what I can tell, yeah.
Yes. This girl loves a challenge.
That's right.
Okay, and then for those people who are not necessarily looking to get into real estate but may have some real estate needs, they want to buy or they want to sell, why would they give you an opportunity? Why would you be a good fit for them?
I would say, although I am new, I am willing to show you anything and everything. Answer any questions you might have, and even if I don't have the answers, I'm on a wonderful team who has been in it for a while, and they have a knowledge base of over 20 years. So if I don't have the answers, I know that I have people who will, and I will work hard for you.
Very good. And guys, again, if you want the grit, I know that sometimes people's thought process is that, well, a newbie won't have all the answers, and I completely understand that. But here's the thing, the old dog, we don't have all the answers either. So sometimes having someone who is really, really hungry for those deals to get in there and work for you is a good thing. So don't be afraid. Just make sure that if you go with someone new, just see how many transactions they've done and then who their mentors are and if they've got someone looking over all the paperwork. So speaking of that, because you are new, do you just write up the contracts and hope that everything is right?
No, I had no idea how to write an offer or anything before this. So there's a lot more to it than people actually think. And luckily, I have Edna who will go over every single offer before I deliver it and make sure that I'm not missing anything. That way I don't end up having to buy somebody a fridge.
The old fridge, right? Yeah, absolutely.
It's my number one fear.
Oh my goodness, yeah, they're so expensive now. Like it's the price of a car back in my day, so I love that. Okay, and so where do you see yourself in 5 years in the real estate world?
Um, I feel like I'll have a few rentals, some Airbnbs. I'll have my own home by then. And I just want to keep grinding and see where it takes me.
I love that. Okay. I'm going to hold you to it. I love it. I love it. So, okay. Well, Randy, I'm so glad that you joined us today. I know that you were a little nervous about what we were going to talk about, but it's really just talking about what you do on a day-to-day basis. Um, Before we let everyone go, tell us like what's been one of the funniest things that's happened on a showing.
Funniest thing that happened on a showing. A lady, she asked me if she could use the restroom. Well, actually, she used the restroom
She didn't ask first.
and then asked me, and the husband had said that he had checked the water and made sure it was on. It wasn't on.
Oh.
Yeah, so
So
I
you
had to
deal
go.
with that.
Yes.
Buying gallons of water, right?
Yes.
Okay, yes, yeah. And it's funny how you think you're gonna just look cute and show pretty houses all day. Yeah, not so much. So,
Yeah.
okay, well, I am so glad though that you came on today's podcast. But we're especially happy that you chose to be a part of the sales team and that I get to be your mentor. Love that. I also want to challenge you that within the next 5 years that you end up on stage at the summit. How about that?
I'll do it.
Okay. So not just for a photo with Tom, but end up on stage as like a speaker, a guest speaker.
Okay.
Okay, you guys heard the challenge here, so we'll check up with you.
See you in
the
5
next
years.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you being willing to sit down without a list of questions. She was very nervous about that. And as always, if you are thinking about getting into real estate and you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Randi the Realtor. Randi, what is your number one favorite social media site? Where should they connect with you?
Probably Instagram right now. Marcus can put that in the handle.
Okay, the handle will be below or above somewhere on here. But if you have any questions and you want to reach out to Randi, she'd be happy to answer those for you. If you're looking to buy or sell, definitely reach out to Randi. She can help you. And remember, she has a team behind her to make sure that everything is squared away. So again, thank you for joining us today and for today's podcast. And if you have any issues or questions, reach out. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.